How's it going, everybody? What's up? Just checking in and getting some stuff set up here. And then I might bring in a couple people and stuff, but I'm glad everybody is in here. And as you guys filter in, I'll say hi and everything and stuff, but going to send out a couple emails to some people here to try to bring them in. Okay. All right. I know it's always the worst part when I'm setting up and everything. So, but anyways, so I hope everybody's doing good. Oh, for some reason, the stream is not catching everything correctly. I'll have to fix it one of these days eventually. For some reason, I think the size of my screen that I'm broadcasting compared to what I have is different, so it keeps giving me these errors. But whichever, whatever. But yeah, so thanks for coming in, everybody. I'm just getting everything set up now, so appreciate you guys all coming in. Yes, thank you for coming in, Chris Hope, and I see Lloyd is in here. RC Addict Mark, thank you for coming in, you guys. Yeah, I know I'm slacking. I should have set this stuff up. I'm going on about 15 minutes earlier than I thought I would, but really not too much of an excuse. But hey, thank you, Emma Hilton, for coming in as well. And thank you guys for the well wishes on Ken's channel. I really did. I felt like it went well for me. So, couple things I meant to mention that were kind of on my little note list and stuff that I never got to. But other than that, everything else went really well. So, I am going to get into my email. The email. Wonder what anybody know what that's from? The email. The email. It's from Strong Bad and Homestar Runner, little cartoon clips and stuff that I used to watch long time ago, with Trogdor the dragon and just ridiculous clips that. They were funny to me, and I have no idea why. I probably should be a little. I should be probably a little embarrassed that I watched those. But yeah, so I gotta be on Ken Heron's show tonight, and it was awesome. I was so nervous. Like yesterday and earlier today, and then I kind of had like a pre-show with Ken, and it just kind of all it made it easier, made it so much easier. So that went well, I think. Yeah, I'm sure there, Lloyd. No, I don't think I'm big time. I'm still not big time. I really did enjoy it, and Ken was so great to have me on. I appreciated it. It was really fun messing with him and Kelly and stuff with my little Ken face here that I had on and all that stuff. But and then the video for Jeff Sills, which I will release. It's unlisted right now because I wanted to save it for Ken's show and didn't want Jeff seeing it coming. But I will release that video so everybody can watch it maybe tomorrow or something like that. But yeah, it did go well, geeks. I think it went as well as it could have. Nothing, no trip ups. I had a couple jokes that I was ready to tell if he needed somebody to tell a joke or something like that. So, but I will tell you guys the one joke. I think I I said it once in chat, but it things happen in his chat so fast it gets lost pretty easily. But my joke was, what is a drone's worst enemy? And the answer is curtains. Hey, Mars, what's up? How are you doing? Oh, everybody's coming over from Centroid's channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in. Appreciate you guys all coming in and dropping in here on me. Thank you, Michael, for hitting the like button. I appreciate it. Yeah, Drone Shots, how's it going? Young gun. Yeah. Yep. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. And it's something I've always wanted to do. Like when I didn't see you, Mars. I saw a lot of everybody, and I'm sorry, Mars, I didn't see your thing. I missed it. I tried to catch up and see and make mention to everybody in the chat as much as I could when I saw you guys. I missed yours though, Mars. I'm so sorry, man. So sorry. But I saw most everybody's stuff that was saying hi to me, and I responded to it. But I guess I probably missed more than just yours, Mars. I'm sure there's at least one other person that I missed, because yeah, it was a little it was a little nerve-wracking, and I wanted to make sure I got everything right and didn't screw something up to where it messes up the flow of everything for Ken and all that stuff. And I think it went well. Night Train, how's it going, Mike? Everybody coming in. But yeah, I got let's see here. Hold on, I have one more email to send here, and then I'll be all set. Although, there it is. Never mind. I do have it. All right, there we go. So I got all those sent out. So I might have a couple people come in and stuff as maybe people see the messages and stuff that I sent them. But did everybody like my little gift for Jeff Sills, the Johnny FPV video? What'd you guys all think about that? It's been hard keeping it from everybody on the drone hub and stuff. So I've had to keep it quiet because I want to make sure the first time everybody saw it was the first time anybody saw it. Hey, hi Melinda Paranormal. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sean. Hey, Sean, I sent you an email, by the way. I sent you a link. Send a couple other people some links if you guys want to come in. Anybody else who wants to come in who I did not send a link to, I am more than willing to bring you guys in and have some people on here. I like to just have somebody else's ears to bounce things off of, because it's really hard to just... I mean, I can definitely talk by myself and to myself for a long time, which is probably an unhealthy thing to admit. But it's much easier if I can bounce things off of some of you guys and kind of got that other voice in my ear. Because right now I have headphones on and there's nothing in them. And it's probably more of just a fashion statement from Johnny FPV. But anybody else who wants a link, I can bring you guys in. Like I said, just let me know. You'll have to send me an email. I can put an email in here that you guys can all email to, and then I'll get you a link. Hey, there he is. Hold on a second here. Let's see if I can... Oh, gosh. That's not what I'm... That's not it.
Oh.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Good. How's it going, Sean? Hold on a second. I have... Oh, gosh. I have to mess with something here really quick to get you actually in the chat here. it is not, for some reason, wanting to bring you in.
Do you need me to hop out and hop back in?
For some reason, I'm not getting your video. I don't know why.
Wait.
There we go. Hey.
I'm one of those security conscious people that don't like it being on the screen.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
I have a little thing that I put over it. So sorry.
Oh, hey, no problem. I'm just I'm getting your screen here is it's a little big. I always have to adjust the screen size a little bit.
Edit it through, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. It's close now. It's at least close enough. But so how late again is it there, Sean? Every time we go through our daylight savings time, I always lose. I think I'm 9 hours different than you right now.
Okay, so it is currently 3:22.
Okay. So, yeah, that's 8 hours. 8 hours.
Yeah, Thursday night's always the late one with watching Ken's show, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, you're becoming a normal on here now. Am I also your second time on screen, or did you go somewhere else at one point?
Yes. No. Yeah, it is also my second time. I was going to pop onto another one at one point, but decided against that. So yeah, well, tonight went really well.
Yeah, I thought it did, and you liked. I saw your comment in there. You liked the video for Jeff Sills.
Yeah, I was one of the people who was also a subscriber to your wife's channel.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit earlier on. I was going, hang on, I know that person. Hang on, why do I? Hang on. And then when it came up, I was like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
I've seen her on your videos, seen her on her videos, etc. So yeah, I thought it was really good, really, really good. Especially calling it the Johnny FPV as well. That was very clever.
Yeah, I know. I had to do that. That's why I had the glasses and everything. You know.
Yeah, it looked very good. I'm sure Jeff found it very funny. Is my audio okay?
I think so. Yeah, it's coming through on
Perfect.
What I'm seeing at least.
I'm not using the same headphones. So I just wanted to make sure it's okay.
Yeah, it might be a little low, so I'm going to raise it just a little bit. You're still kind of coming through in the green zone, which, believe it or not, it's really funny because you want the chat to come through or your voices to come through in the yellow zone of
right, that
OBS.
makes sense.
So
yeah. But no, I thought it went really well. I thought the chat was very natural, so it's good. I think it's going to do you a lot of good.
I hope so.
I was expecting a couple more levels of security to come into the stream tonight. I was expecting some big guys stood around you. So
the bouncer is still eating dinner. Otherwise, you'd have to arm wrestle him. Yeah.
Exactly. Having to sign some disclaimers and But no, it was excellent.
Yeah, I thought it went really well. And I've been looking forward to this literally for over a year, thinking, man, if I could be on Ken's show, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
And it just kind of happened.
Brilliant. I mean, he's very good to the whole drone community. It's good that he switches between not just the Ash from Droning on Size channels. He does bring in the other people as well, which is good. So
yeah, and he's never been one of those people who brings in channels on Size. It's always, I mean, he brought in that Mateus Allring guy, and that guy had like 400 subs when he brought him in. Something like that. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but another thing is in Pusa Studios, Andrew mentioned this morning.
Yes.
But
yes, I heard him saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing is that I've been talking to Ken about and kind of working in the background while I was talking to Ken about me coming on his show is trying to get him to come on Pusa Studios interview show.
Yeah.
And so that he's going to be on Pusa's show, and they're going to interview him and have him on there. So it'll be fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean that's good for Andrew because it's that particular thumbnail will obviously pull in a lot of people into his channel as well, which it's a good interview to get.
And honestly,
and Andrew's getting some really good people.
He is. He's getting a lot of bigger channels, and again, that doesn't
Yeah.
always mean bigger channels aren't always
No.
meaning better channels, but
No.
I'm really excited because for our drone community, it really is awesome to have Ken go on there because
Yeah, exactly.
there's so many other different channels. I mean, there's a few channels that don't make sense to have drones, like a cooking channel or something, or ASMR or something like that. They're just really not the channel type to have a drone.
No.
But like any outdoors or even just like family vlogging channels or anything like that, drone footage would help all of those people. And so I think it's going to be a community that only gets massively bigger as it goes on. So
absolutely, as just as long as regulation doesn't kill it off as a hobby, of course. But
true.
But, hey,
that's for another. Yeah,
for us hobbyists, that is, of course.
Yeah, sorry, I'm typing here to Mars really quick.
No problems.
I'm one of those people that it's like multitasking for me requires a whole lot of effort and a lot of energy, which means I usually only do it in the morning.
Right.
Hey, we'll see you later, Chris Hope. Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, I never heard. I've obviously I'm still fairly new to your streams.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard the story about Ken coming into your.
Oh gosh, yeah. So this was about three or 4 weeks ago. It was literally the stream before you came on. It was the week before you came on, I think. So what happened is I was finishing up dinner, and that's the reason why I go on at this time. It's not just because I like to stay out of Ken's range, but I also go on at this time because then I'm able to say goodnight to my son and my daughter and all this stuff before I get on the show. And and my daughter, she is only with my wife and I half the time, and Fridays are the day that she goes back to her mom's house, and so that's kind of the last night with her. So I like to make sure I spend time with them and stuff. But Thursday also is kind of the day that I can guarantee to be off work at a pretty steady time each week, and so I really just chose Thursday. That's kind of why I chose this. But what happened though 3 weeks ago is my son right before bed had like a huge, he was just laughing at 1 second, and then all of a sudden it was just Exorcist style projectile vomit all over the place. And and the wife took him upstairs and gave him a bath, and I was the one who was cleaning it up. And my show usually starts at 7. I started it later tonight because I was on the show with Ken and all that stuff. Course. But my show usually starts at 7, and this happened at 6:55. Yeah. And so it happened at 6:55. So 6:50. I'm sorry, 6:50. About 10 minutes before I was going to get on, and I got it all cleaned up and all this stuff. And then I usually have to go in and change my thumbnail to the new number of show that I'm doing and all this. So I was doing all that stuff, and I just did all that stuff, and I was typing in the title of the thing, and I typed in Thursday Night Live instead of my Thursday Night Chat. I typed in Thursday Night Live. And then, he came in right as I was starting the.
I wonder if he saw the thumbnail. If the thumbnail came up.
No, because the thumbnail will still say Thursday Night Chat, because literally all I do is I go on an existing thumbnail and change a number.
Title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the title of it was literally Thursday Night Live that I wrote at first, and so he comes in and he's like, "Cease and desist, brother," and. It was just like one of those crud moments where you just feel like an idiot.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. At least it's someone like him to do it, because he'll see the funny side of it, and he'll know for sure that you weren't trying anything. So, but no, that's really funny. Bless you.
Yeah. It was funny. He came in and Jeff Sills came in, and they were giving me a little bit of a hard time before they left and stuff, and it was all in good fun.
Oh.
And
cool.
I had to pay him off royalties and all that stuff. No, I'm just joking. I didn't do that.
Monetize the show across to him, and absolutely. Yeah. Well, I actually I met Ken myself this week. I did one of his one-on-one workshops.
Oh yeah, I saw you talking about that when he was introducing the workshops. You were saying it really helped for you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was just it was I was his guinea pig, just because I obviously my channel's so new,
Mhm.
and I just wanted to get I just had a few questions for him, and he's always so good at answering them. And I said, look, why don't we just get together? I pay you some dollars
Mhm.
for your time, because otherwise I feel bad, and we could just have a chat, and you can give me some hints and tips. It was excellent, actually. It was very good.
Really? Oh, so was it your idea to even start the workshop thing, or
No, no, he's had the idea for quite a while,
okay,
and then me talking about it has brought it back up for him, basically, and sort of
gotcha.
made him actually publish all the web page and everything else like that. But
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
but no, it was very good.
Yeah,
It was
well, I
very
mean,
good and
and the
very.
guy's been in media for a long time. I mean, he's been doing the
That's it.
country show with Kelly for a long time, and
That's it.
so
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
before he was even a YouTuber. And there's a lot of people that are like that. There's a lot of guys. I always get surprised how many people have like a background in photography, videography, working in a news station or TV station or
Yeah.
radio station. I'm
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
surprised at how many people in
That's
our
right.
community are like that
Yeah.
because I mean Pusa Studios, they're both
Yeah.
photographers and have been
Absolutely.
for a while. There's a couple other guys that have just been like, yeah, I used to DJ at a radio station for this, and so they know sound mixers, and it's amazing
Yeah.
how many of these guys and how many
No, indeed.
people out there.
Yeah. No,
Because
it is incredible. I suppose it's one of those hobbies as well, isn't it? Droning, that it's interesting, and like you with your work, where
mhm,
you know, but where you drone wherever you go for work, and I think a lot of people in the media industry would do the same.
mhm.
And they're more, I suppose they're more likely to think, I wonder what this place looks like from up there, than just your average Joe. So
Yes, yes. Mars is Bill says that Mars is like the Walmart greeter, always there to welcome people. Yes, Mars is. I swear, Mars is one of those guys that I just like every now and then I try to go into Roger's channel and I try to say
yeah,
hi to everybody, and I'm just like, how the heck does Mars do this? I literally have said that in my head a few times because he comes and he says hi to everybody within like a minute. And I'm just like,
brilliant.
I'm still sitting there with my phone or whatever going, ooh, ooh. I guess if I was on my computer, I might be able to do it a little quicker,
Yeah,
but
no, indeed. Let me just say hi to Mars then.
yeah.
It's only polite. There we go. Hi, Mars.
Yes. By the way, everybody who's on with me is Sean Geeksvana, and he's. We're gonna maybe do a little bit of. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I did not see them there.
Oh, I was just
Oh
about to say you have the star
yeah,
of the video earlier behind you.
yeah, exactly. The first one to notice because I don't know if you saw in that video, he's sitting there looking at me and talking the whole time as he's walking across that street. He's like, no, talking to himself. Hi, buddy. You saying hi to everybody?
Good night. Good night.
Good night, bud. Ooh, don't cough.
And say good night to you. Oh.
Good night. Night night. Mwah. Yes. So and that is why I usually do the show at 7, so that I can say goodnight to him and all that stuff. But being on
Yeah.
Ken's show, I didn't really get to very much. So
Bless.
yeah, exactly, Mike. He always grabs at the cord of my headphones if anytime he's with me. So if you see me on like Roger's channel or anything, you'll see me doing this every now and then. It's because he's just got that death grip on my headphone cord.
Brilliant. Oh, bless him. A real cutie.
Yep, he is. And there's more of him on my wife's channel than there is on mine. Every now and then he's on mine. But on my wife's channel, she does the vlog 3 times a week or so, and sometimes a little more. And she actually is going to be starting to do a few lives herself here every now and then.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so she did one, I think it's about a week and a half ago now. Last Monday she did one. And I was with her, but I was kind of just co-host sitting beside her.
I've got her as a notification, actually. I don't think I got that.
Oh, well, it was a week and a half ago, so maybe, I mean, but...
it might have been just outside, yeah.
Yeah, but, it's something that she's going to start doing a little bit more often, and, she's definitely the better looking half of the two of us, so...
Well, interestingly, one of the top tips that Mr. Heron gave me for live streaming was actually to include a female.
Yeah, it works. I try to get her in here on these streams a little more often, but the thing is she's always putting him to bed. And,
yeah, exactly. Life.
So, yeah. Yep. And Ken, it was funny when he was saying all this stuff. Yeah, I always wonder, because he's mentioned his ex-girlfriend Sarah a few times. I've always wondered, like, if somebody is like, hey, by the way, she actually does see some of the stuff that he says.
I know, right? But I also wonder whether that's actually real, whether he actually probably gets on with her very well, and she'd probably laugh at it. You never know, do you? He is an entertainer.
That is very true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be one of those things where they have a good laugh about it at some point in time or something like that. So.
I keep getting because I've watched through a few times on the Choose Your Own Adventure. Mm-hmm. I keep getting those thumbnails coming up on my recommended, and the one that keeps coming up is the box on the stairs. It keeps every time. I watch my YouTube on a widescreen TV, and every time I load up Netflix, YouTube, it's up there, and there's the box.
Nice. Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, and she did one recently where there was a couple. Even Val was talking about it this morning on Roger's channel. And that was one of the things. So I had a list of things, and I felt bad after it was over. I was like, oh, shoot. But there was a couple things. So I meant to mention the Choose Your Own Adventure stuff that I did and plan on doing more of. I meant to mention that, and I did mention that. I mentioned the Remote Pilot 101 and how I got my Part 107 because he just got that's a new sponsor tonight. So I figured,
absolutely,
I'd tie in with that as well.
Perfect.
And I didn't mention the Canadian Drone Hub, but I was kind of, when he started wrapping things up, I was kind of like, oh, shoot, and then you just start like, spewing things that you think, and I blew it.
It's difficult though, and again, like you said before, he's been in the industry a lot of years, so he knows how to run a guest as well, doesn't he? Really, and to get what he needs and to help you along and everything else like that. So I mean, it's there's always things like that, isn't it? When you as soon as you come off, you're like, oh, why didn't I say? Why didn't I? But yeah. I'm sure Roger would have appreciated the shout out, but
I meant to. I definitely meant to, but I just, it got to a thing where he's like, oh yeah, and like you said, he knows what he's doing. I mean, the guy knows when it's time to bring a guest in and change things up, and it's time to take the guest out and change things up. And I would have loved to have been on there for an hour and a half, but that wouldn't have been good for his show. And I realized that, because it doesn't matter how fun or funny or whatever I was, stagnation, it doesn't matter, catches everybody, including Ken himself. So
of course, yeah, absolutely. I think as well with guests on there, I think you have to pick the co-host almost, because Kelly is a little bit more active than perhaps some of the other co-hosts, so that sometimes gives the guests less time to chat as well, I think.
Yes,
if Ken's co-host is that much chattier.
Yeah, I actually like Kelly a lot as a co-host. I like, the nostalgia of when Dana would do it every single week and stuff is just awesome. I can't wait till Dana can do it again. I know he's on his tour and stuff, but
I think Ken was mentioned playing a video message from him tonight, but he didn't seem to do that in the end.
He didn't. I never thought about that.
Drifted off.
Yeah. The one thing that I never got to see is, so when I did this thing, what did Ken's face look like? Because I was behind that. I never saw it.
Yeah, it worked perfectly, and I think he laughed.
Oh yeah.
And then he got you to repeat it because he wasn't sure that the audience saw it. But actually, certainly when I was watching, you got the initial hit straight away, and that was very good. It was very good. I actually forgot that you said you were going to do that, so when I saw it, I really laughed. It was very, very good.
And it was such a last minute thing today that I got time to actually do it.
Brilliant.
And I was like, oh my gosh! And so I went and that's his avatar, his logo on.
Yes.
So that's where I got the picture. And imagine blowing that up. If I held this thing to the camera, it looks like Mario Brothers regular NES graphics with it's just all blocks and
Yeah, it
granulated.
didn't look like that actually. Yeah, and
No.
I was watching on a 4K TV as well, so it looked good.
Yeah, good.
It had the comedy impact, which is good, especially
Excellent.
following your video, which is good.
Yeah. Well, that's what that's the goal I had, is to look to just be fun and funny and stuff, because that's, I mean, I do my cinematic drone stuff and everything, but at the same time I just like to goof around. I mean,
Yeah.
24/7, whether I'm on or off camera, I'm the same dude, goof around.
Awesome.
So
well, that comes across in your videos as well.
yeah, and Kelly doing the accents tonight was pretty good. It was awesome. He gets it down for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then it just kind of fades into something else.
I know. Yeah, but it is one of those accents, the English accents, because you can go off into Australian very, very easily.
I
so
can't.
it's
I can't do English accents. I can't do it. My English accent usually like fades from English into like Irish, and then it ends Australian.
Yeah,
and then
well, most English people who try accents end up being offensive because we end up Indian. So most of us with sense don't do them, because it just ends up sounding like you're doing an Indian accent no matter what you try.
Yeah, I can do voices. I can't do accents, but I mean, I can do voices. I can do, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I can do the the Gollum guy from, and I can do a bunch of other ones, but
very cool.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. The cartwheels. I don't think I was gonna be able to fit that in this little office for Ken, but yes, I forgot about the Russ flips that I do and all that stuff, which I would really like to bring back the minute with Russ. I think I'm going to here one of these days.
Cool. Very cool.
But so what do you got coming up, Sean? What do you got coming up on your channel that you want to do? I know we were talking about doing a video and stuff here soon and everything, but that's definitely going to happen. But
I definitely want to do some collaborations with the other similar channels out there. I think it will be good. It's also good practice for me as well, which is why I appreciate opportunities like tonight. But I've just done a video on basically over here in the UK we have royal parks, and you're strictly not allowed to fly a drone in there. And it's a shame, because obviously they're huge open spaces right in and around London, but there is just one place you're still allowed to fly. So I did a little video explainer for people in the UK to go and fly there. Although I finally got my fantastic funny comment. I tend to do this a lot, okay, in my videos. Perhaps nerves, but also I don't just want to be a
I talk with my hands a lot. Well, I just did it now, but I talk with my hands a lot too.
Yeah, well, I got one comment that basically said, "Watch your video with the sound off. It looks like you're under arrest and saying don't shoot." Because I'm literally talking like this all the time, explaining about Richmond Park, and
nice.
And I'm delving into my first interview next week. I have a doctor. I can never say her name correctly, Sarah Finale, who's actually from university over here, and she's carrying out a study on drones.
Excellent.
And how drones from a sociology point of view. And she wanted to interview lots and lots of different drone people, so I'm kind of flipping it over on her and doing an interview on her work. I'm sure it will get about 12 views. But it's just, again, practice and that type of thing.
Probably not. I mean, the thing is if you're interviewing somebody who's interviewed a ton of drone flyers, in essence, you're getting some of those other flyers through her.
That's what I'm hoping for. And she's a very interesting person, because actually it's also a very good person to carry out that kind of work, because she's pro drones.
Correct.
And she actually thinks that even in no-fly zones, you should be allowed to go up to 100, 150 foot just to get some nice photos, but they should limit it. There should be some kind of limitation rather than just no flying, which I thought was interesting.
I do too. I'm kind of with her. I think tree level. They should have tree level be, and honestly, 100 feet is tree level. So 30 meters, 100 feet, whatever it is.
Exactly. But she's actually been funded, and her last study was on Instagram. and how we communicate through Instagram, as in we use photos only on Instagram to communicate rather than any kind of text. And that I have read that study, and that was fascinating. So I'll be interested to see what she does with drones.
Excellent. Yeah, I've done one full on interview, and it was with a person who they run a drone company, and they're right from my area but they make more what are they called? The drones that take off vertically, VTOF or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But
the fixed wing jobbies.
Yeah. So they take off vertically and then fly horizontally or whatever. But they make some of those, and they were actually he and his partner were on Shark Tank. And they got all the sharks to join in. Every single one of them joined in on their thing. And so I did an interview with him, and I did that, a while ago, and it didn't get as many views as I thought it would. I thought it would be a bigger video, but it was a big 10-minute long real interview. But other than that, the biggest and closest thing I get to interviews is what I'm doing with you right now, where we're just back and forth. Every now and then I'll bring in a question or whatever, but that's as close as I get to interviews usually, because most of the time I kind of get that news reporter feeling during an interview, not really the goof around Russ interview. So I like to do things off the cusp. And with that guy, I really had some set questions, and he was really open for any question. He had, I really only did one semi question he didn't really want to answer, and I kind of did it not directly, but off to the side of that of the point, which was that they have had some crowdfunding and some things were promised, and things just got too expensive, and they couldn't deliver at the price that they had promised, basically.
Ouch.
Yeah. And so they had some people get a little mad at him, but it happens with crowdfunding and video games and all kinds of other stuff.
Oh, yeah, it does. Although droning does seem to have been particularly hit by crowdfunding errors and crowdfunding disasters. But I think it's one of those ones that it's, unless you have the absolutely phenomenal investment capabilities of someone like DJI, I don't think you're going to really compete, are you? Is the problem. So how on earth can anybody now?
Yeah.
Any tech company out there think, okay, we're going to take DJI on, because they've just got just the sheer length of development of their drones.
They'd literally have to have probably $100 to a couple $100 million ready for development and product placement, at least, if not more.
I would probably quadruple that to try and catch them up, because it is just that, everything, the no-fly zone software, the list is absolutely endless.
Yeah, I would say if there was some company that came out there and bought a failing, let's say, Autel or Parrot, or one of those starts failing, and some other big company comes in and buys them with tons of money, that's the way DJI is going to have a true, fighting person against them. Because
it will need someone, I don't know, almost someone so big that they just throw an awful lot of money after. I suppose a little bit like how Microsoft came after the PlayStation with the Xbox, isn't it? That's what it's going to take, is
correct,
a huge corporate
big initial investment.
Yeah,
which an IPO could do that, I guess, but now you're talking financials, and we're drones, and so people probably don't want to. Although I do like that stuff myself, so that's kind of one of those off to the side things is watching financials and all that stuff. But
indeed. Well, Parrot themselves actually did have gone through recent troubles, haven't they? Actually, it's interesting you said them as one of the potentials. That they laid off a lot of people, but which was a shame. Because I have to say that their Parrot Bebop 2 is one of my favorite drones. I look up because I've got a Bebop 1 on the wall, but the Bebop 2 was one of my favorite drones. I still miss flying that little thing, but it's 1080p over the 4K is
I got so close to it. So I was really close to buying a Bebop when I bought this thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I was that close to doing the Bebop instead. But I was like,
Nice.
you know what? I know Hubsan controllers already. I'm just going to get the Hubsan. Because, and I honestly, I bought it after I got this thing, and I bought that one like 3 weeks later because no fault to my friend, but I had it and I was kind of showing off with it and stuff, and my friend's 4-year-old wanted to try it, and I was like, okay, now you only get to touch this stick over here. And he's like, okay, boom, down and out, which is the kill switch on Hubsan's.
Oh, no.
And just dropped it from like 50 feet in the air onto cement, and it just...
Ouch.
Never been the same. It will film, but you don't get any view on the controller itself. So you don't know where you are or what you're looking at and stuff. So I immediately went out and told the wife...
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Went out and told the wife that I was getting the other Hubsan. Well, no. What I did is I told her while it was shipping that it will be here in a few days.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's what's left of the front of my original Bebop. I have a flying field that I go to over here, which is basically an RC flyers club, and I managed to, with the only obstacles we have, actually, we have a wonderfully large field for us just to go out and fly on, which is excellent to practice. But we have a railway line there, and we have electricity pylons running behind. And lots and lots of open space that way, and I managed to fly it straight towards the pylon, and it was heading right for it. So I just had to hit the kill switch, and it just came crashing down onto the field and just smashed the camera to pieces, unfortunately. So now it just hangs on my wall.
Oh, so that camera, I mean, it looked a little beat up, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean the drone itself will fly.
Oh gosh, I didn't see the part hanging down.
Oh, that's the lens cap.
Oh, okay. I was like, holy crap.
I was making it look dramatic then, wasn't I? Yeah. Hang on, I'll just snap it. I'm actually using it next week because I'm making a video with a chap from one of the churches that I flew out to make a video for the channel. And I thought he was very, very happy to talk to me. And he was very overly enthusiastic. It turns out he wants to buy a drone. So I'm meeting him to let him fly a couple of drones. I'm starting him off on the one that I've already crashed.
Nice. Yeah, well, I have a couple people just in my neighborhood that the wives are less happy with me, and the husbands are happy that I got them into the hobby. Because I've got one neighbor about 4 doors down from me, and one kind of a little farther away. He's like another street away, but both have seen the drone and then very quickly went and purchased their first one.
Wow. Not popular. Yes, Thomas in the chat, that is a Bebop 1. I got a Bebop, my first Bebop 1, actually I used to control with just the mobile phone, which didn't last very long because obviously it's hopeless. And then I got a second Bebop 1 with do you know the really big Parrot controllers?
Yeah. Have
you seen those? The really big things? I have one of those massive controllers, which I then kept that controller for my Bebop 2 as well, actually. Excellent. So it was a bit of a culture shock for me to go from the Parrot controller, which is literally about that wide, it's about that big, down to the DJI one for the Mavic Air. It was it was a real culture shock.
Yeah, you're probably sitting there going like, "Oh man, my fingers are touching each other now." And
no, it was wonderful instantly because obviously I'm a gamer as well, so it felt much more instinctive to me. So
definitely. Yeah. Wait, you're a gamer? What are those controllers? No, I'm just on the wall there. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wish I had more time for games because I really loved playing them and stuff. And I still, I have my guilty pleasure on my phone is Clash of Clans. That's my guilty pleasure on the phone that I play.
Nice.
So
nice. I still play quite a bit of Xbox, but not as much as I used to. So
nice. Yeah, I have a PlayStation 3 that it gets kind of like the red eye of death about 10 minutes in after I play it. But it's the original PlayStation 3 release, like the 20 or 40 gig memory. It's like that tall and just massive.
Fantastic. Although it is slightly worrying for the hobby that every single drone in computer games seems to be menacing. It never seems to be particularly positive, which is always a worry. I know it's only a small thing, but droning going into people's consciousness when they're young and playing games and they're taught that drones are bad things isn't helpful.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm getting a thing saying that my stream is not coming through very smoothly or something or whatever. Yeah. So I'm hoping everybody else is.
I can check it on my TV actually. Maybe just 2 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody's saying the video is good. I think it's because I have a setting to where my settings of the pictures that are in my background are larger than what the broadcast size is. Okay. And so it's not picking up those, and so it thinks that it's getting lost pixels. So I think that's what it is, and I don't want to change that because a lot of those pictures are not the same size as what I broadcast, and so I want to have, it. I don't know. So I'll probably have to work with it one of these weeks when I have more time.
Do you use OBS?
Yes, that's what I use.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I use OBS, and I try to keep it simple. I used to try to play like videos in the background, and oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that just it just never. It always got jumpy. It doesn't matter on what my bandwidth is because my bandwidth is perfectly fine. I think it's my not my graphics card either because that's a great graphics card, but I think my processor on this laptop is just like, somebody please kill me now if I try playing video behind video of people.
Yeah, no, indeed. I tested a few live streams myself last week on private view only, and it was amazing, as you say. As soon as you play anything extra like videos or anything, it does start to really play up.
Yeah.
I suppose hence why Ken just spent all that money on that wonderful new system he has.
Oh gosh, have you seen his actual monitor?
Shocking. Yeah.
His monitor is like 40 something inches across and only like 18 inches high. So he literally has like 3 monitors and just one curved display. That's like disgustingly nice.
Yeah, whenever he does that back camera, it's just like, oh, look at all that stuff.
Yeah. He was showing me some of the stuff today when we were kind of doing our little video checks so he could get my box built and everything for my camera size and all that stuff for the show. And he was showing me some of that stuff. It's pretty darn amazing.
Very cool.
So it's saying that I have dropping quality there, Rob, but is it actually look bad? Everybody else seems to think it's fine. So I think I'm not too worried about it, I guess, but if it does drop out on me, I guess it is what it is, right?
Indeed, not much you can do about it.
No. Well, I mean there is, but not much I'm going to want to try to do about it at this time of night.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So how was your FPVing going? Because I get is that still fairly new to you?
It is. I haven't flown an actual FPV drone yet. So I'm still only on the simulator. And I think it's going all right. I'm getting really close. I think the only reason why I haven't ordered a drone is because I've seen what Marcus spent on tools for fixing them.
Right, yes.
And holy cow, I don't have that kind of capital right now.
Yeah. No, indeed, I completely agree. I mean, FPV for me, I'm just not brave enough to fly like that at all. But yes, it's similar. The chaps at my flying club, the FPVers and the helicopter flyers, the 3D helicopter stunt flying things, they'll have a crash, and it's that's another £1,000. It's just that's the cost of my drone, in just a crash.
Yeah, I that's what I worry about. Is first of all, I definitely have the ability to take the risks because it's like my I'll take the early 2000s or whatever, early 2010s YOLO and just go for it. But but then when I crash, it's gonna be like, oh well,
Yeah.
I guess I'm not gonna fly for another 3 weeks or so because the other thing is I know how to solder like copper pipe, like for plumbing. That's as much soldering as I don't know how to solder a computer board.
Yeah, I mean, and that is the thing. I think some of the FPVs actually like crashing because they like getting in there and rebuilding it and taking out the bad parts. So I think it's all part of the interest for them, apart from the bill, of course.
Yeah, and I do electrical work on the water coolers and stuff that I work on, and I'm not really worried about that. But I don't. When there's a bad computer board, we throw it out and order a new one.
Yeah.
I don't sit there and go, well, I'm gonna amp meter from this to this and this to this and this and this and that. Oh, that's bad. Well, I'm gonna solder this thing back. I don't do that. So
no, dude.
It's gonna be a brand new thing.
I'm a DJI flyer. The most technical thing I do is turn it off and turn it back on again.
Hey, what about calibration, man? You gotta spin circles and.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. I always like doing that because I don't know how. Do you sit there and spin the drone like that?
Yes.
You do? Okay, because I take it and I just hold it and spin a circle myself. Do
you do the DJI dance? Do you? Have you seen those videos on YouTube?
No, but I've thought about making one. But now I know I'm not the first. You're never the first to make them, I guess.
But they are pretty old, so you would be re-bringing it. So
there we go.
There are some very funny ones of people doing the DJI dance.
Yes. Yeah. I do the dance, and then you know what? It's just enough turns. And I'm just old enough that when I get done doing it, I'm like, all right, I need a second. So I'm going to slowly go to put this thing down. Where am I? All right, now we can launch.
Brilliant.
Yeah. But I've had it where it's like, oh, calibration failed. I'm like, well, man, now I'm going to... Come on. You're going to make me dizzy. There was one time where it literally failed twice, and I was like... All right, you know what?
I'm going to do it that way.
I'm going to do it that way. That's not how I do it, but that's what's going to happen this time.
But the Mavic's only small. You're okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but, like you said, with the DJI drones, even if I am dizzy, once it gets up in the air, I have my sensors on. I always try to keep my sensors on. I only turn them off at a certain point if I need to turn them off for a small amount of time, and then I'll turn them back on because I love having those sensors.
Oh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I have to say probably my biggest issue as a flyer is bravery, unfortunately. And every video I make, I'm getting a little bit braver and a little bit braver and a little bit braver. But I'm just not terrified of losing the drone or anything or damaging the drone. It's more actually doing something wrong from the rules point of view, or it coming crashing down on someone's car or in their house or something. That would be awful.
Well, and wait, what? Did we hide Robert Banks? Did we hide him? What did he say? Oh, it's been good for. I think Jerry accidentally.
Yeah, I think that may have been an accidental.
Yep. Well, and he'll have to wait a little bit before he. Yeah, accidental. No, Jerry, you are not forgiven. Where's my whip? Time to the post. Yeah. But no, yeah. But no, it's all good. It's all good, Jerry. We know. I was like,
I'm sure he's laughing.
Yeah, he is. He's probably like, what in the bleep just happened?
Yeah, he probably literally is. That's like the first time that's probably ever happened to him.
I would imagine so, because he doesn't ever say anything bad. I've been taken off of somebody's channel once before. And,
really?
Oh yeah. I mean, I definitely. I was on a flat Earth channel and I was telling them that the Earth is round. So, I mean.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I was like, the Earth is round. I see it when I use my GoPro. And they're just like, the GoPro has a lens. And I'm like, no, I use linear mode. And it still is round. And they're just, I think that's...
You can't imagine you can't imagine there's too many droners in that community, can you? Really?
No, but they kicked me out after that. I probably deserved it. I was feeling a little spunky that day.
I think I've been silenced a couple of times. When did I get? Actually, it was on Ken's show, but it was accidental. I am Wedge, and he literally spent the rest of the show apologizing to me.
Oh, he kicked you?
He silenced me. He gave me a timeout, whatever they call it. But he meant to give it to the person above, and he literally spent the rest of the show apologizing. And in fact, he then introduced me to the Canadian Drone Hub community as a way of saying sorry.
The home drub.
Whoops. Hey, come on! It is 4 a.m. You have to let me off.
Yeah, I will. I won't. Hey, Tex, thank you for coming in, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was fun on Ken's show. I had a blast. I've been looking forward to it, like I was saying earlier to Sean and everybody else in here. Been looking forward to hoping that I would be on Ken's show for like a year plus. And he's played a couple of my videos. He has. And I actually, that's not the first time I've been on his show. There was one time where he did a call listeners, and he was calling a bunch of people like a minute at a time. And he called me, and my phone camera was broken. Like, it happened earlier that day. My phone camera was broken, and so he never got my video, and my audio was terrible, and I didn't have the setup that I have now. So it was literally, and he's like, you sound like you're out in the middle of nowhere. I was like, well, I'm from North Idaho. And he's like, oh, North Idaho. And that was the end of me being on the Ken Heron show.
Your first appearance. Thomas, I'm in the UK, just to answer that. He's asking where I was from.
Yep. Yeah, you're semi close to what is it? Where the drone incident happened, like 40.
No comment. No.
Don't worry, it was nobody. It was all them.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between both airports that were hit actually. So.
Oh, so if they start doing what's that show?
The triangulation.
Yeah, where they're like,
NDIS type. Yeah.
There's a Sean guy and he owns drones and he lives right in the middle of the overlap of both circles.
That would not be good. I still feel sorry for the couple that actually did get arrested for that, and they were just put through so much hell. Bless them. It'd just be a horrid thing to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, Tex, you live in Texas. Well, Tex lives in Texas. That makes a lot of... I just put 2 and 2 together. Sometimes I'm a little slower than the rest of us. But yeah, so I have a couple... And actually, my drone hobby kind of ties in with a couple things that I just absolutely love. I love tall buildings. And flying them with drones, But another thing is space vehicles. And I love space vehicles. And so Tex he's not super close, but he's kind of close down to where SpaceX has their test facility there. So
nice. Yeah. No, I mean, tall buildings is one of my loves as well. Unfortunately, our rules are AGL, and that's it. It's nothing to do with the buildings that you're around. They actually changed it. Not changed it. They over clarified. So yeah, I mean, even if and the little drawing now on our drone code shows a little mountain coming down, and if you're down here, you can still only go 400.
Really,
it doesn't matter. But yeah,
so
it doesn't matter that the mountain's next to you.
So
it's from where
400.
you take off.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
Well, I guess that eliminates people saying, well, I thought I was within 400 feet, even though they were 500.
Yeah.
Because they went up to 900 and they thought, whatever.
It just makes me very, very jealous when I watch videos of American drone pilots.
Well, what you do is you go to the top of the mountain and you take off, you go 400 feet, and then you go out over the valley and you're like 3,000 feet AGL. But no.
Exactly.
I think you get in trouble there too.
Thomas O'Sullivan, you're saying you're in Tipperary, London. My mother was actually from there, hence my Sean Hickey, my very Irish heritage name. And yes, I do watch Ian in London, actually. He's quite a good guy, actually. he's a very clever YouTuber. He gets an awful lot of views, and he doesn't really do much for his videos, if that makes sense. It's literally just him in front of a camera. But he's very popular. He's a little bit renegade. He's good to watch from that point of view, that he's a big believer in the hobby and keeping it. So he's always taking on people that want to change the rules or misinterpret the rules, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Because we have over here, we have two groups, the National Trust and English Heritage, and between them, they caretake most of the old buildings in the country, which obviously, a country as old as ours, there's an awful lot of them. And both those organisations claim that you cannot fly over their properties. But Ian in London in particular did one actually over Stonehenge, which got a lot of views because he obviously, Stonehenge very much say you cannot fly over here. But yeah. But he actually got it in writing from the CAA that he could, and then he did. So good on him.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing those things aren't made out of cardboard, because the drone might have blown them,
Yeah.
I think
exactly.
I think he could crash a Matrice full speed into one of those rocks, and it's not going to budge a quarter of a millimeter.
No, exactly. And if you go in the summer, at sunrise, which is 4:30 in the morning, you're not going to get many people in that area at that point. It is a very, very popular landmark, of course, but it's one that I want to do at some point, but I need to get way braver.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, how long have you been flying now, Sean?
2016, but again, the first year was with a Bebop 1, so very basic, then up to the Bebop 2, and then I've had the Mavic Air for about 18 months, I think.
Okay.
So not long. And all as a hobbyist as well, so.
Yeah, okay. Well, it comes with time and stuff. And there, sometimes being a little cautious is actually not a bad thing. I know I'm more cautious than, I let off. I actually do like to be cautious, and, there's a couple things that I would like to fly right now that I still don't have the guts to do. In fact, my one video that was the longest process to fly was Palouse Falls. It's a big waterfall. It's like a year ago. From a year.
Is that the one on
ago.
your trailer?
Yeah, it's that big waterfall on the trailer.
You're stood right next to it. Yeah.
Yes.
Incredible shot.
Yeah, and that's a state park in Washington, and so you have to get permission to fly, and then you have to buy drone insurance to fly, and all this stuff. And I had to do that, but that one was a little nervous because, so I was going over the waterfall, and there's this one picture where you see me going over the waterfall as it the water part, and then when you get over the waterfall, it sucks the air with it, and so.
Of course it does. Yeah.
I cut the scene because right as I get over the waterfall, my drone just goes.
Yeah.
For a little while, and I'm just like, ooh, 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 and I just pull up. It's like pull up, And I just pull up, and I was like, so that part did not get included in the video, but that was a little nerve wracking, and so I was like, I'm not getting any closer than this.
but that is a whoa kind of shot, though, isn't it? That video is.
Yeah.
It really is one of those drone videos you look for. So it's very nice.
Still to this day, my favorite drone video of mine that I've done is that video. There's a lot of them that have been fun. There's a lot of them that have been different. A lot of them that I think I've done better edits on. But as far as just if I were to pick a drone video of mine and say it's my favorite, that one is it by far. Still
crazy. But it's never your favorites that do well, is it? It's like
Oh, that one's done well. It's
your favorite. Is that the one with 300,000 views on it, or?
No, I don't have. No, the 30,000 views. No, that's
30,000. That's right.
Yeah, the 30,000 views.
That's what it should have.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, the 30,000 views is of that Rattlesnake Ridge, that falling mountain. But this one has 2,000 views, I think, or something. Just under 2,000 views.
Decent.
Yeah, it's not bad at
Crikey.
all. Yeah, I think I've got 10 or 11 videos with 1,000 or more on it, something like that.
Very nice.
But
soon to be many more, hopefully, when the TNL gets its rerun and the thousands more watch it over the coming days and
wouldn't
weeks.
that be nice? Yeah, I got a few subs tonight, but from it.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's not a bad increase just on that one little, with the
No.
300 people that are watching that show. So it's not bad.
Well, and the thing is of the 300 people that were watching that show, probably 50 or 60 people I know already.
Yes,
and have
exactly.
known for a while, and
exactly.
a lot of the guys are in here right now that we're including you and literally everybody in here are guys that I mean, Tex is one of the new guys that I didn't have before, and I guess now that I'm talking about him, I'm going to make sure I get him now. Usually I go and do that stuff after the show is over and stuff, but I just looked at his channel anyways, so I got Tex and stuff, but I 13 or 14 something subscribers I gained from it, which that's
nice.
It's good. Yeah, and I that's not why I went on.
It's also building the exposure, isn't it, as well? It's building it and building it and building it.
Correct.
If anything you ever do and you think, okay, I'm going to get X subscribers from that, it's just not going to happen. But building exposure like that is really nice.
Yeah, it is. And just, if it got me negative 30 subs, if me going on Ken's show was what made 30 people say, well, forget this guy, I still would have done it in a heartbeat. No,
indeed. Yeah.
So
I don't blame you. It is a bucket list thing, isn't it? I got excited enough when one of my videos was played 2 weeks ago. I got all giddy about that. So
yeah. Well, Jerry, I think you done did it. I haven't seen Juneau County Droner come in here yet, so no, it's fine. I'll email him because I think I have his email. I'm not going to do it while I'm on the show, but I'll email him. I'll let him know, Jerry, that you said that you did it on purpose and that you're going to send hate mail carved out of newspaper clippings and to look for that. No, I'll let him know that you didn't mean it.
We missed a question from Tex, actually. He said, I've got to ask, do either of you have a P4 Plus? Still looking for a real good new user video as I get ready for its first flight. Oh, that's exciting. I
do not have a P4 Plus. I honestly am. I've been saving, and this whole news about them stopping the Phantom series, I kind of figured, I was like, they're not gonna. That would be like Ford stopping selling the F-150.
Yes, well, there is actually a report on my channel regarding the Phantom.
Yes, correct.
But,
yes, I saw yours.
Actually, did you see? And again, to be fair, my report does say it could happen, and that there is evidence to say it. Although one of the people, who's the drone reviewer? I forget his name now.
Bill, the drone reviewer.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was saying, obviously, he gets very good information. And he was saying it's actually linked to that whole fraud business where they had those people that ripped them off for 150 million that worked for them. So they've had to literally get rid of that whole part supplier and go into a new one. So,
correct.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It's an iconic shape, isn't it? So you have to imagine, even if they got rid of the Phantom, that they would keep the shape, because even that drone that Ken had tonight kind of still looks like a Phantom,
Yeah, exactly. And I did see your video on it and stuff. And so, and with your video, I don't know if I saw Bill's video on it, but
he was actually talking in a live stream. I think it was actually in Val's interview with him. He was, because Val asked him, is it happening or not? And he said, again, he was very balanced. He said, who knows? But he said he thinks it's more to do with that.
Yeah, I have a feeling. So I guess, what I was getting to before, though, is I was saying I'm waiting for the Phantom 5 text. That I'm waiting for the Phantom 5. I'm actually saving some of my real estate money to get the Phantom 5.
I don't think the 5's coming.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, then I'm going to have to buy an Inspire something or whatever, and it's going to cost me a whole lot more money, and I might have to sleep outside for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, so far I think 4 or 5 of the channels that seem to have the DJI contacts, including Ready Set Drone, have said they think the 5 won't happen. But as I say, I think they'll come out with a new product. And I think it will be the Phantom 5, and everyone will go, "Oh, that's the Phantom 5."
Yeah.
But I think it will be packaged differently. But no, Thomas. Was it? I was text asked. Was it? No, text. I don't have a Phantom. It's the little foldable ones that I tend to stick with.
Yeah, I like the portability of the foldable ones. I do like the image size, the battery life, the speed of the bigger ones, and so that's what I would look forward to having with if they come out with a Phantom 5.
No, absolutely.
Is something like that. But yeah, that one that he was showing tonight, I looked at the specs on it, and it has a short battery life, really short battery life, but it goes 60 plus miles an hour, which I think the Phantom only goes like 52, something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
It goes like 60 plus miles an hour. The camera is only 30 frames a second in 4K, which my Mavic Air does. And it has, at 1080p, only 60 frames a second, which my Mavic Air has 120. And my Mavic Air has a 2.7 setting, which that's what I use a lot.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, I use the 2.7 because I like to shoot in 60 frames a second, which is another reason why I would like to have a Phantom, because I could shoot in 4K 60 frames a second. So,
of course.
Hey, 4-Ring Bar, how's it going?
I think one of the things might be that the carbon thing seemed to be their unique selling feature, and they've obviously got a patent for the dual screen controller, didn't they? But again, it's for me, it's a lot of bird to carry around. Whereas I really like the Mavic Air. I mean, literally, my Mavic Air bag is literally about that big, and that's it. That's all I have with me when I go flying.
Yep, that's what I have. I got the Fly More package that came with the bag. I don't know if that's what you got.
No, I didn't actually. I just got the base one when it first came out. I can't remember when it first came out here. I don't think the Fly More was available, and I couldn't wait.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't patient.
No, I got it within. I think I got it the second or third day that it was out. While I still had the if you order it now, we'll ship it at the same time as all the other people.
Nice.
Get it.
Very nice. Yeah. I think I got it from. It was actually Amazon that sent it to me. So
Yeah, and that is one thing, Mars. That thing looks really nice. It looks good.
It looked incredible.
But I was thinking, if they're going to make it super light and all this stuff, that it might have a really long battery time. But 21 minutes is nothing for a drone.
The battery didn't look very big either, did it? When he had it in his hand, it looked fancy. Yeah. It had the LCD screen and the big light on the back. But I thought, actually, how much power is that taking? How much power does it take just to run those screens? It's incredible. And I think he was saying he was having difficulty flying it, wasn't he?
Well, no, he was. What was he saying? It
was drifting for him. I think.
It was drifting a little bit. It wasn't that he was having a difficulty. It just wasn't as stable as DJI products that.
But again, that's where DJI gets us, isn't it? They lull us into all the sensors and all the auto everything, so we never want to go to anybody else.
Yep. And let's see. Thomas is saying. See, now what Thomas is saying is, if they put that thing into the 12 to 1700 range, like what your Phantoms are and stuff, they might actually do pretty well.
Yeah, very, very well.
But no sensors. The range is only 1 kilometer. See, now the range doesn't bother me as much because I really don't fly that far. It was really cool. Like when I was looking at the Mavic Air, I was like, "Wow, this thing is going to go 2.5 miles." And I mean, I got the thing, and I will. Let's see, how do I put this? I may or may not have tried to see how far it goes.
With 10 spotters helping you, all strategically placed, with walkie-talkies in hand.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Mars. For $2,500, they can keep it. For half that price, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I still probably would go with a Phantom, though. Or because there's so many other things that the Phantom still has. It's got longer battery life. It's got better camera sensor. It's got, all these different things. I don't know.
Yeah, or keep saving for the Inspire, of course.
Yeah, exactly. That I might be saving for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Inspire would be nice, but man, you got to think like lugging that thing around, like the size of that box that you got to carry that thing in.
I would do it. I would do it. I would be a total hypocrite. I would go from, I love my Mavic because I can put it in a little bag, and if I had an Inspire, it would come to bed with me at night. it would go wherever I went. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. No, I would probably do the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I like to talk about how exactly like you said, how the Mavic is so easy to take around with you. But I'll tell you what, if somebody said, "Hey, you know what? I will give you this Inspire for that Mavic," that would be a 0-second thought trade.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yes, not the Inspire 1 V1, because the Inspire 1 V1 actually had a whole lot of problems. So Drone Shots is correct. The version 2 of the Inspire 1.
Absolutely.
Or an Inspire 2.
Yes.
Which I guess they're talking. That's one of the things that they're talking about. The what?
Yeah. It is rumored, isn't it? It is,
the Inspire 3?
Thought to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Which it's like.
Potentially.
Oh, well, you know, why save for an Inspire 2 when I can go and trade in my house for an Inspire 3?
Perhaps the Inspire will just come down a little bit if they bring another one in the top range.
Yeah. See, Mars is with me. If they, and I think he meant to say be around 1,000 to 1,400.
Yeah.
But 1,000 to 1,400, it would sell to a lot of people. It would sell to a lot of people.
Yeah, and he's absolutely right, because the second that Ken was on the page showing the price, that was it. I was just like, okay, no, there's just no way. It's not going to give me the benefit above what I have.
Yeah.
I'm not paying, more than double just to have it carbon.
Correct. Yeah, and I mean,
it'll be strong, mind you, but
yeah, I think you can buy carbon shells for your Phantoms. There's people.
Wow.
There's people who sell the shells, carbon shells. I mean, you're going to be doing a little bit of work, but you can buy those things for a couple $100. So you could go and buy a Phantom, get a carbon shell for the darn thing, and yeah. Oh, I got you, Mars. I figured. I mean, 100 to 1,400 is a very large price range.
Could be a very big range. Yeah. I think they have a few customers at 100.
Let's see. Do I get the unique breeze or do I get this thing? Yeah. But I will say, the one thing about that I did like that is worth the money if the drone had the specs and stuff. That controller looked really nice.
It looked amazing, didn't it?
It looked really
I'm looking
nice.
I'm looking forward to seeing the videos on it, because it I think it's going to be something that I'm going to enjoy seeing. I suppose it's a little bit like, a sports car that comes out from a brand that you just think that's a really nice car. So I'm happy to look at it. I would just never own it.
Yeah, it's like hockey is for me. I love watching hockey, and I'll go watch our local team here. But I tell you what, man, I can ice skate, but it's straightforward. And when I come up to the turns, every single time I'm like, so I wouldn't do it. But I'll definitely watch it.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's okay. So I saw his come up there, Mars, a few days ago. I haven't watched it, but he does really extensive reviews on things. But you have to dedicate 40 minutes to a video sometimes with Dustin's stuff. So I haven't watched it yet.
If you're thinking of dropping that sort of money, you probably would watch it, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, easy. Absolutely.
It's just a problem whenever you see one of those videos just after you've ordered something. How do I cancel it? What's the cancellation policy on that last order?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, if the Phantom 5 doesn't come out, and you're breaking my heart by telling me that it might not, but if the Phantom 5 doesn't,
I'm literally zero expert. Do not listen to this man.
Yeah, but I mean, you've heard some people say some stuff that I haven't heard them say. So, but if the Phantom 5 doesn't come out, I don't know if I want to get a Mavic 2 Zoom or Mavic 2. I just don't know where I would go.
Zoom is really interesting me. I've been watching Philly Drone Life fly his, and I have to say, oh hey, it's Val.
Yeah, hey Val.
I just got home, so I raised on. So go ahead. I'm listening.
But yeah, I watched Philly flying his, and I wasn't aware just how much a zoom zooms, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty impressive. I thought when I saw it, I thought maybe it's a bit of a gimmick sort of thing of drone zooming, but actually, it really does make a difference.
I really like the dolly zoom. You know, fly backwards as you zoom in, or fly forwards as you zoom out. That and you can do that in post.
Shots.
So I could do that with my Mavic Air videos. It's just a lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah. To be able to actually, but plan the shot while you're there to do that would just be phenomenal.
Yeah. Hey, so Val, I might have to. I don't know what Jerry. I don't know if you see what Jerry is saying there. He's saying, "Oh, he says I promise not to."
Come back yet? What happened with Robert?
Oh, Jerry was clicking on his name, probably to look at something or whatever, and you already know what I'm going to say because we have all done it, Jerry. So don't worry about it. But Jerry, instead of looking at something, accidentally kicked him out of the channel or whatever.
Robert Stanton, where are you, darling?
He'll be back. He understands.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for not hiding me. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Mars. How you doing? I still say Phantom 5 is coming with Zoom Cam, retractable legs. Oh, that'd be weird.
Yes,
that would be cool.
Mars. Yes, I hope so.
So, Russ, very nice on Ken Heron's.
Oh, thank you.
You had already been on, but before Mary's having a hard time tonight. I won't say everything that was going on, but had to go take care of her, and so I didn't get to see it. But at the tail end of Ken Heron's, I pushed it back so I could see you and write in the chat.
Awesome.
Because I thought you were fabulous.
Thank you.
He was very good, wasn't he?
Yes, and I had to watch it because you were in it.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, I thought I did well. I tried to bring the Russ humor into it and stuff. I don't know. Did you
like the mask?
Yes, my little mask here.
Mask, yes.
It's still funny. You've got to keep that thing.
Oh yeah, I might just bring it on.
Yeah.
But I have to go and watch the review because, like I said, I never got to see his reaction when he first saw it because I was behind the mask. So
it's so 100% droning about Northwest style. It's just so you.
Yeah,
it was just so you.
Exactly.
I love it.
And I think I said it when I was on air last week that that's what I was going to do, or did I tell you, Sean, after we went off? Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you said it on the stream that you were going to try and make up the mask.
Yeah. Yes.
Great idea. The video was perfect though.
Yeah.
Such a dork.
Oh, I am. That's why she married me.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was dull, I would be making those Clear Eye commercials like what's his name
just
does.
put that in the chat actually. That's harsh.
What's that guy who does new from Clear Eyes? Red Eyes from Visine. We can help you. Or, you know.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh. Oh yes, just kind of drones. Drones.
Who has a battle drone? Those look fun. And I think that was one of the ones that this one company was going to send me was those, cheaper battle drones. So I think they're only like $20 or something. But they wanted me to do a 5 to 8 minute review on the thing, and all they were going to give me was and you know how hard it is to do a 5 to 8 minute review on a $15 drone. I mean, it's like here's the remote. It has 4 buttons for trim, and I usually just compensate with the flying, so I don't use the trim. So cool. And they gave me this cool little screwdriver, and it fell apart when I used it the first time, but it's really cool.
Hot glue took care of that. No hot glue. No worries.
But the battle drones do look really cool. They look like they would be fun to play with. But I just don't know if I could have done a 5-minute review on them.
No, I mean, 5 minutes, as you say, it's a lot of airtime to.
Yeah, that was after I did.
There were the Hero ones as well, weren't there? The Star Wars drones that actually looked like the Star Wars craft.
Yes,
and they were battle drones as well, weren't they?
I don't remember those. I remember seeing something about those, but I don't remember any details at all. I'm talking. I just remember the ones that are in the balls that you like smack into each other.
Yeah.
Those are the ones they wanted to send.
Yeah, I was interested in them until they were like $250. It's like I'm not flying those after another drone.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's
a lot of money to lose. No. For a bit of fun.
Blizzard says this military grade plastic, smash it all day. Nice. Look up Game of Drones made in USA.
Ooh, I will. That sounds interesting, Blizzard. You know what I have always thought would be a great idea for a drone is if they had drones that could play laser tag.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be cool? Like if you could just fly drones and play laser tag against each other with your drones, and it's like your little drones like lights turn from whatever to red or whatever when you're down for a little while, and then you have to go and land at your base, and then when you land at your base inside of this little circle, it recharges and you can go out and fly. And
very cool.
How cool would that be?
I think you just invented something.
Yeah, except for like I was telling Sean earlier, I can solder copper pipe, but if it comes to a computer board, I look at the thing and go, yep, that's bad. Let's send it to the manufacturer and get a new one. But that would be so cool to have. Maybe I'll pitch it to one of the channels. I don't know. Or to one of the manufacturers or something.
We should.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And I'll just tell them, hey.
I would love to play. That would be... Could you imagine all the FPVers with that? What they would do?
Oh, yeah. That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
First of all, they would destroy me. But second of all, I would be like, hold on, guys. I don't have GPS lock. It's not fair yet. And then, pew, 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 pew,
pew. You would literally be, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
I'm taking my ball and going home. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I would pitch it to one of the drone guys and I would be like, you know what, you guys? I don't have any patents. I don't have anything. But you know what? When you guys get this done, I need like 10% royalties. Something like that,
Yeah. That's where they stop answering the emails.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're like, just so you know, shredded. This never happened. Yeah. Did you see it? No, sir, I didn't. Good. I like your style there, Johnson.
So, have you got any sponsor deals after your stardom today?
Well, I did make Sean pay me to come on. No.
Yeah. And we did have several layers of security before we were able to enter the live stream tonight. So there was an extra vetting process.
No, I haven't had anything. I got a few subscribers, but and that's really cool.
Nice.
His stream gets thousands of views afterwards, doesn't it? He gets most of his audience in the following days rather than on the live stream itself.
So that may be super, super, super wonderful for you, Russ, and I hope it is.
I hope so too. But honestly, like I was telling Sean though, if I me going on the Ken Heron show made me lose 30 subscribers, I totally still would have done it. I mean, it's just one of those things that I just wanted to do forever. So I had a blast. I was so happy to be on there. And, I was nervous for about the first, I don't know, probably, well, when he said he was going to bring me on, oh, wait, hold on, let's watch this other video. I'm like, oh, no, you can't do this to me, Ken. What are you doing? But other than that, it was great. And then when he finally brought me on, and he was like, oh, we're going to call Russ. I was like, I didn't want to be, I don't know if any of you guys ever listened to talk radio, but I didn't want to be, and this was been my fear the whole time, of being that person who, it's like, they're like, yeah, Russ, you're on the air. And then there's like 3 seconds of dead air because they're listening to their radio instead of listening to their phone. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, hello, am I on? 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 You know, I really didn't want to. So I was like, "Is there anything making sound?"
Very good.
Yeah, he geeked out.
Wait,
Yes.
you didn't seem nervous at all.
Blizzard, 12-inch props on the battle drone? Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. That sounds like I could battle a real human being.
Like right?
Yeah.
Like that?
Wow. Per prop. Imagine that thing chasing you down the street, Val. How you're gonna run the fastest you've ever ran in your life. I know I would.
And it's still gonna kill me. It's still gonna kill me.
Yeah.
You have to know when you've been out battled with the battle drone.
Exactly.
Oh, fun. Fun.
But yeah, I had a blast, and I feel like it went well. You know, like you said, Sean, it didn't look like I was nervous or anything. I reined it in right before I came on, and I was like, well, you want to know what? I get to hide my nervousness behind this thing for the first few seconds, and then I'm good. So.
No, it was very good. I think with the thing that I think you stole the march with above other guests, and I think that will have an impact over time, was your funny video.
Yeah.
And linking it back to the Johnny FPV, because you know how much he loves to play that clip.
Oh yes.
So I think you really hit a chord with him with that, and I think that made it for me. I thought that's brilliant. And then the mask thing carried on the comedy, basically carried on the personality.
Yeah. Well, and when because I wanted to make sure that he thought it would be a good idea, because I didn't want to, do the whole video and everything and then have him be like, no, we aren't going to do that, which I had zero feeling that he would say, no, let's not do that.
Yeah.
But so I sent him the idea of, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, because Jeff Sills and stuff, has the Johnny FPV thing that you'd like to tease him about, and he's like, "Oh, please do," was his answer. It was just he liked the idea. So
it was excellent. It really was good.
Yes, and Val, if I don't see Roger tomorrow, you're gonna have to tell him that I got like starstruck for a little bit there, and I totally had it on my little note sheet to mention Canadian Drone Hub. And I totally did not. So
I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think Roger will be okay with that. We're just happy. I mean, I was so happy, and I told Roger how well you did. Yeah, Russ, it was just great. You just did great.
Thank you. Yeah.
We like that kind of stuff, and I think you have a good stream. I think you have a good sense of humor. I think that your
Great
videos
channel.
are absolutely stellar, and they're beyond a lot of things that I see when it comes to camera drones. There are a lot of good people out there, but something about what you do, and so I was so thrilled that you got to be on there. So I ended up missing it because I couldn't help it, but then I watched it while I was still on. I'm like, I'm going to be there with it.
Well, you told me you were going to, and there's a lot of people that can't catch. There's some people who catch Ken's show maybe once every other month live, and they have to watch the replay. And there's he does his little rewind thing that he's been doing for the last 3 weeks, which is amazing. Because even if I watch his whole show, I watch the rewind because it gives you the show in a box. And what he thought was the most important part of the show, and so it's kind of nice. And if you miss the show and you don't have time enough to watch the whole show, you get Ken's show in 5 minutes. And by the way, Tex, I see.
A problem.
Oh, what's that?
We have a problem. There's one other person you forgot to mention.
Hold on. Ashley? He's gonna sleep where? Yeah, I'll tell him. He'll be sleeping in. What? Yeah, I'll make sure he knows that is where he is. Yes. Doghouse. Sorry.
He didn't actually credit the star of his little movie.
Oh, I did though. He did ask me. He's like, "Yeah, and your wife," and so I did say my wife, and he asked me.
Ashley Warden family.
Yeah. He asked me what my wife's name was, and I said her name is Ashley. So.
Yeah, I heard that. What's your wife's name?
Hey, you never know. I've always told Ashley, 20-year lease, and then, I might trade up, and, I'm just joking. Yeah, right. 20-year lease, and then she would trade up, if anything.
Yeah.
But Tex...
As the lights go out, and Russ is never seen again.
Right.
Yeah, you guys would just hear, like, the lights come off, and you'll hear me going, no! No!
The channel name is changed to Buried About Northwest. We're still looking.
Yeah. So, Tex, you were wondering about why people can't donate and stuff. In here, you can't donate because I am not monetized. I don't quite have the hours for monetization. It'll eventually happen, but I'm not too worried about when it happens. It'll happen when it happens.
Have you thought about doing something like the Streamlabs software where it does allow the donations?
Yeah, I've thought about that, and I've thought about having, like, because I do have a PayPal, but I just use it to actually pay for things.
Actually pay things, yeah.
Oh, the lights are out.
Oh, the lights really did go out.
Uh-oh. Let's see if we hear it. Stop.
Now she's giggling in the background.
Yeah, but is it a giggle, or is it a giggle like the clown from It?
Hey, Ashley.
I can't hear you, so just...
Yeah, she can't hear you guys unless I do this, and then she puts her head next to me weirdly. But
Weirdly. Hey, Ashley, I did tell him he's in the doghouse.
I know, I heard. I'm upstairs purging the boys' clothes finally, because he's been stacking up on old clothes, so I'm just getting rid of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
yes.
but...
Let's see. Now, do you guys hear an echo in my voice or anything like that right now?
No.
Nothing.
Okay. I unplugged my headphones so that she could hear as well.
So I'm not like this with him?
Yeah, so she doesn't have to... Because right now I'm not sure if that's a hug or if it's a choke, so...
It might just slightly joking. So when you did that video, I think I told Russ, and you said you were a new pregnancy or something, but I thought you were having another baby. I was so happy. I was like, another grandbaby for me.
Yeah, and again, like I told you, Val, I said it to her too. I was like, that ain't mine. It ain't mine.
That's why you didn't mention your name.
Yeah. Russ. Aww. But no, Val, Russ has been telling me, because you guys have been talking and stuff, but you want to interview me and stuff, but
yep.
I apologize. I've been so busy with stuff. But yeah, we'll have to schedule a date that we can do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely we do. It'll be very nice.
Tex is looking out for you, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think you just kept going. Thank you.
Very good, Tex. Well done.
Yeah. Thanks, Tex.
I'll have to call you to him like this.
What was that, Val?
I said, Russ told me I had to call your people to get you on.
Yeah.
So
his new team.
Yeah. Evidently, he has his own tribe.
Yeah, that was so funny when you were saying that the other day, Val. Oh gosh, now whose channel was it that you were saying it to?
Darwin.
Curtis. Yes, Curtis. Yes. Yeah.
He has such a. Oh, I'm so sorry. Guess what? My roommate had to make dinner tonight, so I'm now getting like hot dogs. That's how I get them.
Oh, there you go.
Love it.
Your roommate has a really weird voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so my dog has decided that I am alpha in this home, which I am. He does what I tell him to do. But Kevin is his, what do they call it? I don't want to say bitch because that's a bad word.
Well, except you just did, so it's okay. Just go with it.
I don't want to say bitch, but bitch.
Sorry.
We're talking about dogs, so honestly, if you want to be...
And so this is what he does. Anytime Kevin has any kind of food or tries to bring me a knife and a fork, he tells him, go get me a hot dog. You go. Now he's going to follow him out to see if he does it.
You need to tell your dog that eating hot dogs is cannibalism.
Yeah, because they're like dogs. Yeah, don't even come over here, Ranger. You know I'll check you. Go somewhere else. Go on. Go ask Kevin for something.
That's amazing.
There he goes. Okay. Mom doesn't feed me. I'm going back.
That's hilarious.
So bad. He tells me, give me food. And he'll just keep on doing it until he calms down. Ooh, I'm telling you.
Oh, hey, my work phone just told me that.
Who's that?
Do you have to go to work?
It just told me, my work phone just told me that I'm live.
Yeah, I want to show you this hot dog here.
Whoa. That looks pretty charred.
I like them well cooked.
Yeah, so do I.
I can just hold these suckers up for you.
Oh my god. It looks like your brother-in-law's finger when he burned it off with the firework.
Oh gosh, yeah. I had my brother-in-law, so we were lighting off fireworks, and he held onto a fuse and was trying to light it, and then it lit, and he was just like looking at it to make sure it stayed lit, and it burned right through his 2 fingers holding onto it.
No.
Oh, it was so bad.
Oh, it looked just like that hot dog.
She's still got to eat the hot dog, so I'm trying not to,
Oh, I'm sure it tastes really good, right, Val?
You're bad.
I know, I love it.
It's a little like finger.
Oh man.
Yes.
You know, I could go somewhere else with the hot dog, but you know. This is a family channel.
It is the late show, but
this isn't like my channel. You know, I can be a little bit more raunchy.
Will this be the new ASMR, eating body parts live?
Yes.
Eating food that reminds you of burnt body parts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Because I'll tell you what.
How is the steak, Clarice? You know.
Well, I gotta finish the clothes upstairs. I'm almost done, so I'm gonna head back up there. But it's nice to see you, Val, and message me sometime through YouTube or through Russ, you know, whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
I will. We'll get it done.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Love you, Val.
And I promise, when she comes on your channel, Val, I will only be in the background. So it will be her. I won't sit there and be like, I won't be like, yeah, she's great. You know, she's got
with a
great
giant sign
going.
that says "Droning About Northwest."
Yes, exactly. But you have to peel the paper off the fuse. Yeah, no, okay. So Tex, it was a little bit windy, and I think he had come out of the pool. And so his hands were wet, and he got the fuse wet, which the fuse is still light when they're wet. They're supposed to be underwater fuses and stuff. But still, it made it harder to light. And so he lit it, and when he finally lit it, he just looked at it. Ashley was on my right, but you guys would have seen her on my left, because it's kind of the mirror. I think the mirror.
Can you show me how you light that again?
Like this?
No, that's not what you were doing. Okay.
What was I doing? Like this? Oh man, what did I do? Because I guarantee whatever it is you say, it's probably true. Whatever I did. Oh, what did I do?
So I had to light it. I don't know what's going on. Hey. Hey, Bill. How you doing? Welcome to Russ's
stream. And then comes
stream.
Coast to Coast Drones, and the first thing he sees is, yeah. Oh. You're only getting... Oh, man, your bandwidth is getting bad? Is that because of me there, or is it because of something...
Orlando.
You're only getting 140p. That's not good.
No, that's really bad.
Yeah. Is anybody else getting really bad? Because
How about,
right now it says my stream is fine on my end, but...
So on YouTube, it's a little blurry.
Is it?
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Coast to Coast. It is a little blurry on YouTube? I'm gonna have to fix that because I think it has to do with it's trying to compensate for the total size of the pictures that I have playing in the background, because I actually have them expanded so you don't see the outer edges because it's not the exact same size as my broadcast size. And so I kind of did that, but I think it's trying to compensate for the outer edges that aren't there, and so it's...
Nice, Jerry. He contacted Robert, and he said, I'm forgiven.
There you go. Poor Jerry. Poor Jerry, you were really worried about it. I think you were okay. He knew. I just don't know. I don't know how many times I've had. I think it's just after 5 minutes he can come back in normally. I don't have to go and set anything again, do I, Val?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Yeah. But it does beg the question.
What?
Well, I don't know, but I'm just saying.
No.
There's a question in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's either about hot dogs or about how you light a match. I'm not sure.
Like this with a match, and like that with a lighter thingy.
Okay. Okay.
And I've never been good with those little punk sticks because they never seem to be actually hot enough to light anything. I don't know if anybody else has tried those things, but they never worked for me.
No.
You know what I'm talking about, Val? The little punk, the little stick things that you get. They almost look like a really super thin corn dog. And then you light it, and it just kind of glows, and then you can light stuff with it by just...
No, I've never seen that. Oh, I went ahead and clicked 180. Mars said,
I don't know what's going on with my stream. I see it on my end too. It looks like it's not in great. I don't know why, but I'll have it. I should have that fixed next week because that's been like 2 weeks that I've gotten a few notices that it's like dropped frames. Like right now it says that it's dropped. I mean, this is going to sound like a massive number, but it says it's dropped 13,000 frames.
Wow.
But that's, at 30 frames a second for, almost 2 hours, that's less than 5% of my frames. So.
Where he's from, he has dip dogs? Never heard of dip dogs.
I haven't either. Dip dogs. I think those are the same thing as corn dogs because you dip them in cornmeal or whatever, and then you fry them.
Okay, so when I go to YouTube, it looks like you're looking straight into the audience. Yep. When I'm in Hangouts, it looks like you're looking sideways. Why is that?
So when you're using OBS, you cannot have the camera that you're using for OBS be the one that you use in Hangouts. So usually what happens is if I'm using like this camera that I'm using for the actual stream is the camera that's right in front of me that I'm pointing at right now. But then I have the camera on my laptop that now I'm looking at you guys in Hangouts. That's just so that you guys can see me in Hangouts, so that because otherwise all you do is just see like my emblem. Because you can't have the same camera be used in Hangouts and your OBS stream at the same time.
Okay.
So that's why you guys are seeing me from the kind of side profile in Hangouts. But everybody else is not seeing me. You guys are all seeing me straight on in the YouTube stream.
You don't have all the extra coding. And it's all beef dog. Hey, by the way, Coast to Coast, very good stream. Ended up having to come at the end because I was doing so much stuff. But I went back and watched some. It was a very good stream.
Yeah, and when does yours come on, Coast to Coast? Yours is on earlier. Quite a bit earlier. When?
Wednesday at 8:30, 9 if you can't get there on time.
But that's Eastern time, right? Yeah. Because I think I saw a little bit of it last night. I don't know if but I was on my phone and I was reading to the kids, so I kind of had it just playing in the background. Yeah, I know. I have the virtual cam Mars, and I can use that. But the thing is if I do the virtual cam, then it will they only get like a little tiny corner that's actually me, and it's really just playing the stream for them. And so that's why I don't use the virtual cam. I can use the virtual cam, and I think it makes my computer run better. But honestly, like this stream is taking 8.5% of my processor speed. Right now.
Oh.
The scraping noise? No, that's the scraping noise is probably Val's dog's
it is
nails on the floor.
There we go. He thinks I'm giving Kevin hot dogs my plate. No, that was enough.
It's actually Ashley sharpening her knives.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Take care of you. You're going to be mentioning me on these shows more often, my pet. Hurt me.
Yes, and you know what's funny? Hey, Jake, what's up? Dude, Jake, I don't know if you guys saw on Ken's show, but Jake Sloan, his video, dude, I mean, Ken was saying that he would go underneath that glacier for 30 seconds. That blue ice, I would be in there for a while. I would be underneath that glacier. I would do it for sure. But of course, I have like I don't know. I guess just a need to do things that are dumb, which is why I mean, Mars even said it earlier. My cartwheels look like garbage, but I do them anyways, and they don't get any better.
You put it all into it.
Yeah, they don't get any better, but but I still do them anyways.
I have to say, Jake Sloan is the drone pilot I'd like to be when I grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
his videos are amazing.
Yes.
I picked up his channel because I saw that he does reviews on gear and all kinds of things.
Oh, Val, you need to see some of his videos because he's up in Alaska. You need to see some of his actual drone videos, like not just the gear stuff. Like go watch his videos of just like, gosh, what was the one that it was flying at, like he was flying at like 12,000 something feet, and it was like mountains still above him going higher up. Like
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, his stuff is good.
Yeah,
He's got mountains there.
The mountain bike one was good as well.
The what?
He had one mountain biking across the frozen, I presume, lake, but across the frozen water, but with the drone following, and that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Was it fat tire bikes? Oh, you have fat tire bikes. Those are so cool.
Oh, Mars, there are some that are worse. There's ones that I cut out that it's like I kind of go to do the cartwheel, and then it's like my head brushes on the ground as I'm like turning around, and it just looks a whole lot worse. I should probably put some of those in. No, actually, those ones don't hurt me. What does hurt is the ending of that whole, choose your own video where I busted my ass. That still hurts. It still hurts.
Oh no.
So, but yeah, the drone or Jake Sloan, his drone videos are absolutely amazing. Great stuff to see, Val. You'll watch and your mouth just kind of drops because like I said, we do not have those mountains and that kind of features in the lower 48 here. And no. I mean, you don't have that kind of stuff there either, Sean. The Alps and stuff in the middle of Europe. But.
Yeah, I mean, he's also extremely brave with it as well, with the way that he flies them. So it's like the I think it was one of yours, Jake, that had the near miss on Ken's show tonight, where the return to home wasn't even set correctly. Now, if that was me, I'd put my little drone away and I'd go home for a month.
Yeah.
I'd be sat at home with a little cloth, wiping it down. So it's okay. We'll be okay.
Never again. Never again.
Bye, Bill. Bye, Bill Thomas. We'll see you later.
Orlando, we are talking about Jake Sloan. He's just a couple ahead or above where you're talking right now. Jake Sloan, his stuff is really cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you will not regret visiting that channel. It's amazing.
Nope.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be good. I'm going to watch it. So, guys, I only got 5 hours sleep last night. I was studying and working, and
bless you.
I am now going to go. But Russ, you know what? You're so dear to have me on. Thank you so much. I so appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, Val. And that, like I said, and everybody in here, if any of you guys want to come on and hang out in this show, I'm more than willing to bring people on. I mean, obviously, if somebody gets out of hand, it's much easier to kick you out if you get out of hand than it is to never have you on and never know.
Exactly.
So he sent me a list of rules that I have to go through. But I read them all, Russ, and I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best.
Yes.
Guys, I tell you, you're just very dear to have me on because you always send me a link. You just, you're one of my faves. I just love your channel and Ashley and Colin and Bella. They're so cute. And Geek Spania, we're gonna have to talk some more. I'll be getting a hold of you.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
Okay, Geek Spania.
How dare you steal my guess, Val? Didn't you read that rule book that you just flipped through?
Everybody. I love all you guys. Bye, Mars. So nice seeing you. Jake Sloan, I picked up channel. I'll be watching. Okay, guys. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye, Val.
Bye, Val. Yep, definitely, Jerry. I think you aren't you, what was your name? Because I think I flew with you once. J Bad or something or whatever in the game? Yeah, for sure. Anytime you want to fly, we'll fly on the simulator. And I really need to get, I'm looking at getting a Mob 7, because like I was telling you, Sean, I don't really build drones, so I want to get something that's put together.
No.
And everybody is saying it's a pretty darn stout drone. You can crash it a couple times before you got to fix anything.
Nice.
So I think that's where I'm going to go. Yeah, and Tex, man, appreciate you coming on. And you can be as anonymous as you wish if you don't want to come on, or like I said, anybody who wants to come on one of these nights. I'm probably going to be getting off here in about 10 or so, 15 minutes or so. Whoa, hold on, let me start that over. I'm sure you're probably getting tired there, Sean. Yeah.
What do you want? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember it, Jerry. I remember you getting on there. Yeah, but yeah, Sean. I mean, and I really appreciate you coming in here, Sean, because you've been really awesome having these last few weeks.
No problem, sir. I thank you for breaking my put it politely, my live stream
cherry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Jake Sloan, I'm in the Coeur d'Alene area. Tiny Hawk. Yeah, that's another good one. I think that's what Mark got, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Coeur d'Alene area, it's I guess it's one of the top 10 areas to visit in the United States, which is kind of cool. But I mean, we have a huge lake
That's
here.
Very cool.
We have two huge lakes here. One of them is the 4th deepest in the world, I think, or 5th or 6th deepest maybe in the world. I don't know. They test Navy submarines in that lake. They build scaled down models of them. And there's this one, because in Idaho, you can fly in the state parks. No regulations whatsoever, as long as you're not flying over people. That's all they say. Can't fly over people.
Well, that's cool.
And there's
That's
certain
very
areas
cool.
they don't want you flying at, over boats that are launching, which if you're flying over boats that are launching, you're also flying over people. So it's kind of monotonous.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But, there's the one Farragut State Park here is one of the places that we have, and there's certain area that you can't fly because you get close to the naval base, and it's a research base, so they're testing new things.
Wow.
It's not like flying over a base where they're like, you just can't be here. You're flying over like potential new
Exactly.
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
They don't want that. It's
not with a drone with a 4K camera.
No, it's heavily frowned upon. And by frowned upon, I mean, when you get behind the bars that they put you behind, you will be frowning.
Indeed.
But they don't care how close. I mean, you can get within like a mile of this thing, of that base. So it's really small. I mean, the thing is maybe 5-6 times the size of my quarter-acre property here. It's only like an acre in size. And then they have a long, like 150-foot dock, and then a big building built over that dock in the water that the submarines come up into and stuff. But
must be very specialized then, as you say, being a research place to be that small. That's incredible.
Well, yeah, and the thing is they only build 1/3 scale models of what they're going to be developing. Okay. So if it's going to be like a 380-foot submarine, they'll build a 110-foot submarine.
Yeah, yeah, that's incredible.
And then they go down and they try to find it with sonar and see, how well
what it looks like.
Yeah, things. If it looks like a clownfish or not, like they're hoping it does or something,
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Everybody's let's see. 75 and 85 are a bit big for inside. So Mars, what size is the Mob 7? Because I'm pretty sure that's a bigger one. That's like more of an outside flyer, right? Beta 85. Oh, I see what you're saying. So the baby Beta 85. Nice. That's cool. I would love to. I would love to get a tiny whoop because where I live is really we don't have great weather for a good half the year, so being able to fly inside is kind of all you can do sometimes. So
text to answer you, he's asking what's the sign say in the background. There we go.
That's really cool. You had it was saying something different last time you were on, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring the light box back. I'm trying to be, but yeah, last time it said Geek Savannah Drone Me Baby, which was the thing you had to comment for a giveaway that I was running. So, I just want to do different methods. But because I post my videos on a few different groups, some are obviously specialist Phantom ones, and all they went on about with the videos claiming that the Phantom series was over was how wonderful it was to launch by hand and be able to land by hand, etc. with the Phantom, that they would really miss that. So I thought I would write a message to them for my next video. So, yeah.
I love that little thing on your stuff. I love
it. The light box.
The sign. Yeah, the light box.
Yeah. It's a bit retro for YouTube. I think most people were using them about 10 years ago, but hey, I'm bringing it back.
Yeah, retro stuff is what's coming back. I mean, that choose your own adventure thing that I did. Yeah, that was really like when YouTube started out. That was the most popular thing for anybody to do.
Yeah, everybody it was did huge, those. Wasn't it?
Yeah, and now nobody's really done it, but I guess it's making a comeback. And I didn't know it was making a comeback when I did. I saw it. Somebody did kind of the same thing, but it was more like they made their vlog just do like a step-to-step on their vlog, and I was like, ooh, what if you made different options? And then when I made it, I then saw PewDiePie and gosh, I forget the other guy. Boy in a Band is another guy that's on one of his his congratulations video or whatever. Boy in a Band, a bunch of those guys all did an actual choose your own adventure where they actually fight a drone in it in one scene, and I was like, that's exactly what I was going for. And so then I developed mine, and I did it different than theirs. Yeah. Mine was a little different than theirs, but it still works out.
It's hard with Pewdie especially to think is that going to be something, because he could sneeze and it would get 3 million views in 2 hours.
Correct. Literally, like I bet if he made a 10-second video of him sneezing, it would get.
He could actually do that. I'm very confident. Yeah, he can actually do that.
Yeah. And here you and I and everybody else in here is like, man, fighting for that 1,000 video.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if he doesn't get 1,000 views in the first 3 minutes, he's like, man, why did this not upload correctly?
Yeah. I wonder if he even checks his stats actually, because one thing Ken did tell me when I was chatting with him is he has one of the YouTube counter clocks on his wall, so where he's got his office set up that we were talking about before. He's got one of those little Wi-Fi clocks that count your subscribers on his wall.
Oh, that's cool.
That's on the wish list.
That is cool. See, I think everybody and everybody who says they don't, if you aren't, you're missing something. But everybody watches their stats. I watch my stats. And
I do.
PewDiePie, I remember he once was talking about how he had to put his phone down and because he was watching his stats too much. And Casey Neistat did the same thing, or Neistat, however you say his name.
He did, yeah.
He like actually said it was a problem. Like he was watching his stats like 5-6 hours a day, and he would just sit there and literally refresh it every 5 or 10 seconds and be like, "Ooh, I got another 300 views." And that's for a guy who gets also millions of views.
Yeah, exactly. Who's also a pretty decent droner, but I think it helps to be brave with the drone when they're all sent to you for free, of course.
Correct. So Tex, if you're wondering what program I'm using for the broadcast, it's OBS. It's Open Broadcast Software. As far as for the chat, I'm just using YouTube regular chat, but I pop it out. So I pop it away from... Dude, Tex, you got 2 million views, man. You definitely got... I'm definitely jealous of you because I think I have...
Oh, yeah.
I think I have 70,000 or close to it, something like that. Well, let's see. Hold on here. I got my phone. No, I'm just over 60,000. So I got like 61,500, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, and and of those 61,500, 27,000 of them are on one video. So
I think I'm at 11,000 and something, which is since the end of February.
That you started at the end of February and you're at 11,000. That's pretty good, man. That's really good.
Yeah, it's okay so far. It's every tiny little milestone is a huge success.
It is. And let's see, where are your subscriber numbers at? Are you
I think I'm hovering around 190.
I thought you were over 200 now. By the way, guys, if you guys don't have them, Sean here, the other half of the broadcast right now, is Geeks Vana, and he'll say hi in chat here for a second. But you guys should get him. He's a good guy. Very good guy.
Thank you.
Yeah, YouTube is getting crowded. I agree with you, Jake.
Yeah, very much.
And looking at your stats can get addicting. And there was a time up until about 3 months ago or so where I was like, man, I gotta stop sitting here and refreshing just to see that I got 7 more views.
Yeah.
You know? So I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look at it in the morning when I wake up. I'm gonna look at it at night when I go to bed, and then I'll look at Social Blade once. And after that, I really don't. You know, like right now, I'm looking at the chat and interacting with you guys, but I don't know how many. Oh, I have 11 people in here right now. I really don't look at that stuff as much anymore either. I guess if I had more
I've already started to stop doing that. Actually, I have to say, because like you say, it's the refresh, and you've had 10 more views. It's like, you know, in the first few videos, it's exciting, and I think you have to get away from that almost addiction of checking, isn't it?
Yep, you do, and I have a little bit, and you know, when you're obsessing, you're spending more time on it. So, you know, I will say, when I was obsessing, I was getting more subscribers, and you know, but I was putting a whole lot more work into it, and sometimes you just need to slow down on the work.
You do, and I don't know if it's just how they talk now, but a lot of YouTubers, Ken Heron himself says it, and other even far bigger YouTubers will say, not that it happened by accident, because of course they didn't accidentally upload videos, but they didn't look at their traffic. You know, they just made the videos, got on with it, and the success came, rather than chasing every subscriber and worrying about this and worrying about that. And I think that's an attitude that I've started to take in the last couple of weeks. Like I had a guy that decided he didn't like my videos on his Facebook group, but it was a very big Facebook group, and I was like, oh no, I'm going to lose, you know, lots of viewers. I even considered changing my videos so he would like them better. But I didn't, and actually the views didn't even change, so the traffic must have then come from somewhere else. So
correct. Yeah, no, I've always been one of those, people. I'm gonna lose some subscribers, and they're not gonna watch my stuff. But the thing is I'm gonna make sure my videos and my stream and all that stuff, it's me. There's so there's some weeks when I just don't have it when I come on the stream, and I can tell that it's like, man, I didn't have it this week. That was probably not the best stream I've done, but I'm not gonna change anything up and be fake.
No, and you can't be on all the time, can you? That's the thing. So
correct. Yeah, and I've always told myself I'm going to be a goofball, hardly serious. Every now and then I'll say something or do something that's pushing the envelope of what people think is funny. Mm-hmm. But I've done my spy video where I don't know how many of you guys have all seen that spy video, but it's starts out with my wife. She's in her robe, and she's like, "Is that guy flying his drone out that window again?" And then it shows my drone, and it just kind of goes, bum, bum, bum. And then she's like, "Oh!" And then I talk about what it looks like when you're flying a drone, and how drone spying is really harder to do than you think. You can't get any audio. If you're looking at a window, unless somebody's pressed against a window, you're not going to see through it.
Yeah, no, indeed. Because you did another one like that, the angry neighbor type one, didn't you? With was that Ashley in the window of that video as well? More recently.
Oh no! That was my sister.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yes, that was my sister. Because my sister
Ashley.
rents the house. My sister rents the house right next to my parents' house. It's actually the house of some neighbors. Literally, they were like third grandparents to us kids, but they moved back to where their kids are when they got a little older, and so my sister rents that house from them, but she's actually buying a house here soon. But that was where she lived, and so I was just doing that for fun because we were heading over there anyways, and so I was like, well, I'm gonna fly the drone and make a fun video.
But it was a good video because I like to watch people's videos all the way through anyway, but I got to the end of that video without thinking about it, if it makes sense, because the personality was coming through, the fun was coming through. It was excellent. It was a really good video. Sure. And even though it's sometimes some of the best comedy is the really set up stuff, so overly set up that she's at the window and it's completely set up, but that kind of makes it more funny.
I never set it up with her, but she knew I brought my drone and I wanted to fly my drone that day, and so
that's really funny.
Of course, the drone starts dropping over, and they knew I was supposed to be over there, and so they're like looking and waiting for when I'm going to show, and then the drone drops down. My brother, if you look at the video, you can kind of see my brother like pointing out like, "Hey, he's right there." Yes. And then she's like, then she just plays along because our family we like to have a lot of fun. But
that's very cool.
Text sister video where it's back there. I think it's spying on neighbors or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's my sister, and she's married. Everybody.
Before you ask.
Yeah, much to the chagrin of my friends. But yeah, so I'm it's always just I've always just been about having fun, and that's what my YouTube channel is. Because even if I do get monetized, I'm not gonna make money. I'll make a few cents. So it's not gonna be.
Yeah, you never know though, because it does yes, niche, but you do have a good personality for it, and I think the more that comes out in the videos, the more general views you're going to get. You're not just going to get people coming back for the drones, because I think certainly with people like Ken, then I think a certain percentage of the people watch him because they like him and they find him funny, not just because of the drones. Whereas perhaps some of the other channels, it really is just drones that people come back for. The latest review or the this and that.
Correct.
So yeah.
Quadcopter 101.
Keep focusing.
Yeah, Quadcopter 101. You're watching for the drone that he's. I don't know if you've seen his stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
But Ken, I started watching Ken's videos because of drones, but I kept watching Ken's videos because of Ken.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, but as we said at the beginning of the stream, all those decades of experience, it just comes. He's able to turn it on like that, isn't he? Basically, it's incredible.
Yeah, Tex. Telling jokes. That's another thing. So I had another thing prepared for Ken's show tonight. I researched one joke because you know how he's always like, Kelly, tell me a joke.
Here's Kelly with a joke. Yeah, exactly.
And so one of the jokes I told in the beginning of the stream, but for everybody who wasn't here, I had one joke that I looked up, and it was, what's a drone's worst nightmare? Curtains. Because of spying and
sorry.
Yep. So that was the
ladies
one that
and gentlemen, it is 5:30 a.m. So please excuse me for taking a second to get that joke.
But and then
honestly,
then the one that I came up with also was what's the difference between a legal commercial drone company and an illegal commercial drone company? The illegal one is a fly-by-night operation.
That's good.
Yeah, that one I made up on my own. The first one was one I found.
That's very good.
Yeah,
that's very good.
But anyways, well, hey, Sean, appreciate you coming in. Guys, I'm going to shut it down for the night because it's...
Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Dude, I'll have you in any and every week. You know, you just got to go through that bouncer and the vetting process and all that stuff.
Yep. No, indeed. Yeah, the 6-hour vetting process.
Yes.
The home visit was a little bit intrusive this time. You know, why they had to check the bathroom, I don't know why, but, you know, that's fine.
If it ain't clean, we can't trust you. No. All right, hey, thanks for coming in, Sean. Everybody else, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you guys all watching and giving me good wishes on Ken's show tonight. And I am here every week at this time. Usually, in fact, I actually start a little bit earlier at 7, but I knew that when Ken's show ended and to get my show started, it was going to be kind of a little short amount of time. So, but I'll see you guys all later. Have a great night. We'll talk to you later, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.